Hello, I'm about to be telling my testimony of how I became Christian and everything that happened to leading up to me becoming Christian, because I feel like everything that happened in my life leading up to it was like, it was all like a lesson, and it wasn't just a lesson for me. I feel like everything that happened has a lesson behind it that can be used for anybody. So I wanted to come on here and tell you guys just in case you needed to hear it. So, and it's a long story, so we're gonna be here for a while, but let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm starting off when I was a kid. I had a relationship with God as a child, because you know, kids they're more faithful than adults are, because adults have these ideas of what the world is, these ideas of this and that, but kids don't really know that much, so they can believe in something wholeheartedly without having any proof, without knowing how it works. You know how kids are. So I was able to believe in God because my family always talked to me about him. So the first time he spoke to me, it was when I was like 3 or 4. I'm reading because I had to write it all down so that I didn't forget it. But it was like when I was like 3 and 4, my mother, she was dating this man who was a pedo, and he was basically grooming me and my brother. And I was actually like a really, really smart child, like at 3-4 years old. First, I remember every memory, like almost every memory. I ain't gonna say every memory, but I remember a lot from my childhood. I also still remember my first memory. My memory is really good. I was a very smart child. So yeah. So when he was grooming me and my brother, he had like exposed himself to us before. He was like strange, and I knew he was strange because I was very smart. But my brother, he was smart too. He knew something wasn't right, but he was still a kid. Like, he had the brain of a child his age. I had the brain of like a child that was like a year or 2 years older than me. So I was able to understand what was going on completely. Not completely, because I didn't know what he wanted from us, but I knew that he was not a good guy, and I knew we needed to stay away from him, and I knew he was gonna hurt us. So I made sure to keep my brother safe. Yeah, so one day him and my mom had broke up, and I was in the room with them when they broke up, which I was like 3 or 4 years old at the time. I was 4 years old, and I was about to be 5 in like a couple of days, and they break up, and I'm there in the room, and I heard why they broke up, which I don't know. When I get to heaven, I'm gonna have to ask my mom, what did she know? Because he had did something horrible. I'm not gonna go into detail because that is not my story to tell, but he had did something horrible to a child, and I thought my mom knew, and that's why she broke up with him, because I was in the room, and when they were breaking up, she was like, what are you here for? And he was like he was silent. And so because I didn't hear nothing, I had looked over at him. She asked him again, what are you here for? He looks at me and then looks back at her, and she's like, get out. And he left, and they broke up. So I thought she knew because he was telling her what he was there for in that moment, but I still don't know for sure if she knew, because she could have just thought maybe he's ignoring me. Like, she probably thought he was ignoring her, he wasn't speaking to her, so she's like, oh, whatever, get out then. Or she knew what he meant when he looked at me. He was saying, I'm here for your kids, I'm not really here for you. So they ended up breaking up, and a couple days later on my birthday, well, not my birthday, the day before my birthday, which is Halloween. My birthday's on November 1st, so my birthday is the day after. So we had this Halloween party. My cousins is over. We bobbing for apples. We're having fun. And then the guy, I'm not gonna say his name, so he comes to the party to come pick up his stuff. But after he like gathered all his stuff, my mom was kind of being friendly with him. My mom, she doesn't drink, so I knew she wasn't drunk, but she was kind of acting like real friendly, real like, oh hey, you know, stay for a little bit, you know, and being real nice and all that. And it kind of seemed like they was gonna get back together. They didn't, but it seemed like they was going to. So I was getting scared because I don't like him being there. He made me uncomfortable, and it made me have to have my guard up. And so, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I asked my brother, I'm like, can you like stand outside the door when I go to the bathroom? Because I was scared. Like, there's a lock on the bathroom door, but I was still scared that that man was gonna try to come in here and do something to me. Oh wait, no, I skipped. back it up, back it up, back it up. When I was on my way to the bathroom, that's when God spoke to me. And I don't know if he used the R word or not, but I remember he said, like, when you turn 5, which I was turning 5 in a couple hours because my birthday is the next day, so at 12 a.m. And as a kid, I didn't fully understand what was going on, so I thought he meant as soon as I turned 5 years old. So I'm thinking at 12 a.m. I'm about to get hurt by this man. So he's like, when you turn 5, he is going to start, and I think he either said start hurting you or he's gonna start rapiding you. You know what I mean? But I didn't know, I don't remember which word he used. I just remember that I fully didn't understand what he was talking about because I was a kid. So I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that, like by hurting me. I just knew it wasn't gonna be good. I just didn't know what he fully meant. Like I'm literally on my way to the bathroom. I was like, the bathroom door is right here. I was right here about to walk to the bathroom, and he said that, and I turned around and I went to go get my brother, and I was like, can you stand outside the bathroom door? Because I was scared, because as a kid you don't really think straight. Because first I didn't know what he meant by that. I didn't know how bad it was going to be. I just knew it was going to be bad, so I didn't want it to happen. So the word that I figured is attached to that story is, God is always watching you, and sometimes he might let the devil get away with making people do horrible things to good people. But let me tell you, if God has his hands on the situation, and he always does, it may not start with God, but it will end with him. And he will make it work out in your favor. So a lot of people like to say, you know, why did God let this happen to me? Why did God let this happen to me? First, he's not doing it to see you in pain. He's not doing it to hurt you. He's doing it to help you grow. If he allowed something bad to happen in your life, it was not to tear you down, because God will not let you fall. He will not let you completely break. He will not give you something that you can't handle, because he knows that that will break you. He's not trying to break you. He's trying to build you. So he's not going to give you something that you can't handle. You're going to be strong enough to get through it. You may not feel it right now. You may not think it right now. You may not believe that this is something that's going to work out in your favor, but it will. Okay, next. My next story happened when I was 5 years old. I got up in the middle of the night. I went to go get some water. I come back to my room, get on the top bunk. I'm drinking my water. While I'm drinking my water, I see, because the hallway light is on. It was like kind of our night light basically. So it wasn't completely dark. So I could see my room. It wasn't pitch black. I'm drinking my water that I just got, looking around my room, and I look in my closet and I see that my closet is like creaking, open and close, open and close, open and close. And so I look, and the longer I look, I see this face, and the face is looking at me, and he's like smiling this creepy smile. And he's like staring at me, and he's playing with the door, and he's trying to scare me. And this is when I had God. So you ain't scaring nobody. Well, I did get scared. I did.
What did he say?
I did get scared. I did.
So I'm looking, I got scared. And so I was like, I'm about to pray. So I pray, and I asked God to send his white light down, which I didn't even know. I shouldn't have even known that it was called white light, because nobody ever told me about that. So the fact that I knew about that, it lets me know like I was either led by the Holy Spirit to pray that night, because I had never prayed for safety like that. I always prayed before I went to bed, like now I lay me down to sleep, prayed before I ate, you know, but I never prayed for safety ever in my life. So that was my first time doing that, and I feel like the Holy Spirit is what put that idea in my head, because I never did that before. But this is how much faith I had as a kid. I literally prayed and asked God to protect my bed, my mother's bed, my sister's beds, the whole house, their whole rooms, everything, and keep us safe, and don't let anything that wants to harm us touch us. And then I open my eyes, and the thing is standing there, but it's not smiling anymore, and it's not moving the door. It's just like looking at me like hateful. And I made eye contact with it, and then I turned the other way, turned my back on this thing, and I went to sleep. because I knew that it couldn't touch me because I just prayed. That's how much faith you need to have in God. When you pray about it, it's done. Even if the thing is still right there, it's done. Like, I just prayed that you can't touch me, so you can't touch me. Good night. Yeah. What's the word attached to that? I say, imagine if we had that type of faith as adults. If you just had faith, it'll be done. If you praying about something like, oh, I need this job, or oh, I need this car, oh, please let me be able to pay my bills, and you got doubt in your mind, it's not gonna get done. You gotta have full faith. As soon as you done praying, okay, my bill's gonna be paid this month. Yes, they are. My car gonna be coming. I'm gonna be able to get my car soon. Yes, I am. That job gonna call me back and say that I'm hired. Because I just prayed about it. But you gotta have that faith. Even when it doesn't happen, sometimes God don't want that job for you. But guess what? If that job don't ever call back, it doesn't mean that God didn't answer your prayer. It doesn't mean that God didn't hear you. It doesn't mean God ignored you. It means that he got something better for you. Okay, moving on. Okay, so after that last act of faith that I had, I lost my way. It's crazy because I feel like the reason I lost my way, I was introduced to a lot. First, I was introduced to porn at a young age by one of my neighbors. And it wasn't a grown man, but he was older. Also, I started to be interested in females. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about it. Because it has nothing to do with my faith. That's not necessary to talk about. But that's when my faith was like, whoosh, going. My faith, I literally forgot about God, like forgot. It was strange because even though I forgot about him, it was like I knew him still. Like I forgot that I knew him, but it was like I knew him still. Like later on, there was times I would pray to him and I would feel like I knew the person I was praying to on a personal level. Like I knew that person. So then at 15 years old, I had this dream. And in that dream, I saw the devil. And he was in his like original form. He can shapeshift, by the way, but he was in like his original form. So I'm gonna just speed through what he looked like and I'm gonna tell you what the dream was. He was 12 feet tall. He had goat legs. The fur on his goat legs was brown. His cheekbones stuck out kind of like Angelina Jolie's. His bone structure was like chiseled. He had gotten rid of everything that made him look like an angel. So he looked terrifying, but he was also gorgeous. Like he shaved off his hair. He was bald. He didn't have any eyebrows, but his eyebrow bones, they like stuck out and they pointed down. And it made him look like really evil. His eyes were shaped like almonds, but they were like large. And then this part of his eye was really big and it was black. I'd be scared to talk about it because like... But anyway, so he was he was terrifying looking. His teeth were sharp and they were like when he got angry, his eyes went full black. His hands were huge, like they were big enough to grab your entire head, like your face and just all this. And his foot, it was a hoof, but it was big enough to like step on your whole torso. That's how huge he was. He was like 12 feet tall. His nails were really long, really sharp. They were about the same shape as this, but they were really long and thick. He was scary looking, but he was also really gorgeous because of his features. Also, he looks like the Mona Lisa. Like the Mona Lisa looks like that could be his mother. Like they have like the same nose, same lips. She doesn't have any eyebrows. I seen him in my dream. In my dream, I was sitting in a movie theater and I'm looking at the movie screen. And the movie starts playing and I'm in the movie. So I'm running, chasing after this bus. And I'm just running. And the bus is on the wrong side of the street. I don't know why. So I'm running after the bus and I'm running. And the camera's like following me. And then the camera gets right about here. I run off a screen. I'm chasing after this bus. And when the camera stops right here, I look across the street. And across the street, the devil is just standing there. He's just watching me. And he has his arms crossed and he's just like... And I'm just like, what is he doing here?
What the hell are you doing out here?
I was confused. I'm sitting in the movie theater. I'm like, but this is the thing. When I looked at him, I felt safe and calm. They say that the devil tries to pretend to be an angel sometimes. That's how he could pull it off, because when you look at him, you'll be like, wow, I feel so safe right now. Like I don't feel like I'm in danger at all. But you are, so run. But your soul and your heart is gonna tell you like, no. When I was looking, I'm like, wow, he's so gorgeous. I wanna go over there. And my soul is like, no, don't do that. I'm in the movie theater and I'm like ready to walk up to the screen. Like that's how alluring he is. Like I really wanted to just go over there. So I'm running after this bus. He's watching me. And then I get on the bus. I'm on the bus. You can see me walking to get to my seat. I sit down. The bus drives off. And the devil's standing behind the bus. He's looking at the bus and he's like, and he's angry. His eyes full black. His eyebrows are all the way down. Like it was terrifying. And I'm just like, what the heck, bro? Why are you so angry? It's a bus. What's going on? So then I wake up, go about my day. I was like, that was strange. Move on. And then later on, I was talking about it with my friend. We both was kind of like trying to figure out why he was so angry. I got on the bus. And so we watching TV and we just started talking about it because the show we was watching was about ghosts and stuff, and they had mentioned the devil in it. I was like, oh, I've seen him before. We talking over the show, but it went on commercial. It was like a YouTube video. It went on the ad. During the ad, me and her talking. And I get to the part I'm like, why was he so angry that I got on a bus? What did the bus symbolize? And right when I paused and I was trying to think of what it symbolized, the ad said heaven. And I was like, that makes sense. And we both kind of looking at the TV like, oh. Because we was not listening to it at all. Like we didn't know what was on there, what was playing. We kind of just stopped paying attention to it. We just talking. And then all of a sudden, it's all in our conversation. So, no, I'm saying, that dream was basically prophesying that I was going to become a Christian. But that happened when I was 15 years old. I didn't become Christian until I was 18. The reason I became Christian is because God had spoke to me out of nowhere again. I became a Christian. God spoke to me. He was talking to me about some stuff. And that testimony I'm still confused about. But the reason I told the story about the devil is first to let you know what he looks like, just in case you see him too. And let you know what you feel. Because sometimes when you see him, he could be in disguise. So you won't know that it's him. But listen to your soul. And pay attention to how you feel. When you feel God's presence, you feel love, peace, love and peace. When you're around the devil, you feel safe and calm. He's trying to mimic the feeling you get when you're around God, but he can't do it. Oh, and when God spoke to me at 18, that's when I remembered that I knew him. Because I had forgot. Like, I'm like, it seemed familiar. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Like, I know you from somewhere, but I don't know. Like, I forgot everything. So when he spoke to me at 18, every time that I heard his voice, every time, and this is crazy because there was times he was there protecting me and watching me, and I didn't even know he was there. He showed me all of those times. Every time that he had protected me, he showed me that it was him protecting me from this. It was him protecting me from that. That was his voice that I heard. You had all of this faith at this age. Everything came flooding back. That just showed me how God is always there to protect you even when you don't know it. The next dream that I had was about the devil. He came to me in the form of a little girl, but I later realized it was him because she has the same eyes and eyebrows that he does. Like her eyes were full black and the eyebrows went down the same, and there was like no hair. And I'm tired because the devil keeps trying to stop me from making this video. My storage is running out even though I literally just paid for more storage. He's trying to stop me from making this video, but baby, we gonna do this. He came to me in the form of a little girl in a dream. And I used to be able to see ghosts and demons before I became Christian. And at this point, I didn't realize that I couldn't see them anymore. So I thought he was a ghost. So in my dream, I was asleep and I woke up inside of the dream. And he's standing there in the form of a 3-year-old girl. He's watching The Amazing World of Gumball on my TV. And he has like this cover over him. And he's like holding it and he's like laughing. And then he sees that I'm awake. And so he looks over. And the first look that he gave was kind of like... But then I guess he realized that I didn't recognize him. So he started to play nice. And so he then did a little smile and started giggling and acting like a little girl. And he starts walking toward me. And my soul told me, wake up now. So I woke up and I'm like, that was weird. So I get up to go to the bathroom because I had to pee. I open up my door and I see the same little girl. She's sitting outside my door. And this is in real life. And she's like playing with the carpet and she looks up. And she looks at me like so much hate because I had became a Christian, and out of nowhere she just smiled. So I walk through her, she disappears, I don't see her again. And then later on I realized that that was the devil, because the same feeling that I got from him, I got from her. And the hate that they looked at me with, like, people like to sometimes paint the devil as like a good guy and try to say maybe he's misunderstood and maybe this, maybe y'all think that God is evil, and some people say he's narcissistic, he's controlling, he's this, he's that, but y'all will try to justify and make the devil the victim. But the guy that's actually the good guy that loves us unconditionally, y'all try to make him out to be the bad guy, when the guy that looked at me with so much hate every time he made eye contact with me, y'all try to make him the good guy. If y'all seen how he looked at you, y'all would not say that anymore. But I mean, that's your friend. Oh, the reason, this is why it was so crazy, like, even though he was there in person, he didn't come in my room. I prayed over my room. So nothing that wants to do me harm or anything that is not of God cannot come in my room. So that's why he was outside of my room in real life, but he was in my room in the dream. I feel like that dream was to show me how the devil is only as big as you make him. When I first seen him, he was 12 feet tall. He's terrifying. But then after I become a Christian, he can't come in my room, and he's in the form of a little girl because he has no more power over me. I'm protected. He can't touch me. So, like, even if he was to touch me, he cannot break me. He can't, because anything that he does, God is going to make it work in my favor. Any Christian is unbreakable when they have God. So it showed me that he went from being 12 feet tall to being like this tall. And I'm sitting down. It showed me that he's only as big as you make him. All the power is in your thoughts, in your tongue, life and death in your tongue. If you know when you're a child of God that this dude can't do nothing to you, he can't do nothing to you. Now, if you still believing that he's all big and bad, he gonna show up big and bad. But I knew he couldn't touch me no more. I knew all I had to do was tell God that he messing with me, and God gonna make him go away. So he came to me in the form of a little girl because that's how he felt. Period. You're mad? I don't care. You can't touch me. That's the type of attitude you should have, because you should know, like, you should not be scared of anything that the devil's gonna do, because baby, God's gonna make it work out in my favor, not yours. So anything you do to me, it's gonna turn into a blessing. That's all that I had, though. You see, I finished my video just like I said I would. Yeah, you tried to stop me from making this video because you didn't want nobody to know what you look like. Well, too bad. That is my little testimony turned into a word for you guys. That was my whole testimony from beginning to end. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and watch my other videos too, because you know. Okay, bye.